from the Libertarian Party of Hillsborough County. We are here as our membership business meeting for the month of August 2017. Yay! Thank you everybody who's here on Bamboozer. If you're watching on Facebook Live, if you're on our website channel, tonight is a very informative business meeting. So you don't necessarily need to take notes because lucky for you, we have put everything on our webpage. So what you're seeing right now in the background is actually some of our more recent activities, trying to get you encouraged to come and join us, whether it's at Craftology in this place, or if it's in the Windmill Tap House right here, or if it's over at the Ale House, or even if it's in New Orleans at the convention, or in our state convention, which is happening in February up at Fort Walton Beach. We want you to attend and have fun. The next cool thing that we're doing that's going to be super just fun only is a picnic and tubing event coming down the Rainbow River, and that's coming up on August 26th. And I'm going to show you how to find out more about that information in tonight's meeting. So let me change screens here. This is today's meeting. So the first thing we're supposed to do is check with our secretary who has an excused absence to make sure that we have a quorum. So do we have 4 voting members here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we have at least a quorum. So anything that we decide today is valid and good. So we do have motions that have been presented, so we will be going through them. I was looking at some of the finances from years past. I'm trying to get my mouse off of the screen. So that's why you're seeing donate online here and donate everywhere. So you're going to see a bunch of clicks to donate, and you're going to hear begs to donate from our treasurer when he's up here talking. And I would like you to pay attention and remember that even like in the current races that we have locally right now, our Republican candidates are walking in day one with $90,000. Libertarians are never going to raise $90,000, but we need to be competitive. So to be competitive, we need to have you donate. So one of the new things that we were talking about doing, and this hasn't been motioned or approved yet, but we're talking about coming up with a suggested monthly donation, and it might even be the date of the month. So for today, since we're meeting on the 15th, we suggested you donate $15. So click on our line and donate $15. And here's the thought. We have 2,400 Libertarian voters in Hillsborough County. If 200 people donate that amount each month, you would only have to donate once a year, and the party would be solvent and have everything it needs. So we want you to kind of look at this. We're going to try and make some fun games and some fun grids to help explain that in the future, but that's what that is. So right now, the meeting is open to the public. We invite you to invite all of your friends, even if you have questions. We do social first, social after, and we have new people here, so welcome, welcome, welcome. So right now, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Yes. We've tracked attendance up at the front counter. We love you, Madam Secretary. We miss you. We do have a quorum, and we're going to ask Kevin to read our opening statement.
So, opening statement. I'm Kevin O'Neill. I'm the Political Action and Campaign Committee Chairman. So, jump on board if you want to help find candidates, assist candidates, and run at the issues with the political action stuff. So, all right, opening statement. Libertarian Party of Hillsborough County, Florida is a registered political committee organized to solicit candidates to run for office, to sponsor ballot referendum, to organize for ordinance, charter, statute changes, and more. We receive and rely on voluntary contributions and donations where strings are not attached. We spend these funds for these above efforts in compliance with known law. We are dedicated to the ideas of liberty, freedom, and limited government. While we may differ on the details, we agree on the current national, state, and local governments are too big, too expensive, and too intrusive. We seek to work together to improve this situation and return the people to more liberty, more freedom, and as described in our U.S. Constitution and founding documents. So that's our pep talk.
Why we're here. Our political action people are the ones who created that opening statement for us. They love that. Yeah, when you go to Board of County Commissioner meetings, that's what you get to do because there's no applause available. So people get to learn that. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is our reports. So our Madam Secretary is not here. She has an excused absence. But this is the copy of her reports. So this is our general business meeting. And for those of you who remember last month, we had the electrical outage while they were knocking out the walls and doing all that fun stuff. So we actually met over at Babes. So the idea of doing this, and I'm going to show you when I give you my presentation about the website, is I would like everybody to know that when you go into the events, the next meeting that's coming up, the dates are in there. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Okay, so on our website, which is what I want to show you, and I think I will do this before we do the reports just because it'll make the reports make more sense. So what we have done is, like on the home, you're going to hear about the new blog that we've updated. On the events, so see right here where today's meeting time is at, that's where I'm looking. When I'm looking on the other, I've created another tab so that you can see this, but that's what we're looking at, is that tab. Anything that's an action alert, anything when they're saying contact your legislator, dial this number, send this email, it's going to be under the alerts. And the events pretty much just has all the fun events in the calendar and all the things going on. You can see in calendar view, this is our current stuff that's going on. If you clicked on this link, it would bring you to that same page. If you scroll on down, there's our Google Calendar, and there it is in agenda fashion. And these buttons right here to the side, these are all, if you are interested in attending any of our political action events, like when we're at the county meetings or the city meetings, that's where all these meetings are, those links are right there. So you can look on the calendar and say, when's the next school board meeting? When's the next transportation meeting? You can see all of that stuff. It's easily available to you. Does that make sense with everybody?
Sure does.
So that's the event tab. Get active and join, or obviously the join is how to become either a member or a supporter. Our members are people who live and vote in Hillsborough County, who are registered Libertarian voters. That means LPF or Libertarian written in on your voter registration, and agree to our non-aggression principle. So as long as you hit those three things, you are allowed to vote. You're allowed to have a say where we meet, when we meet, what we do, get your voice to count. If you're anybody else, you're a supporter. And that's the difference between those two. Get Active tells you about all of our different committees that are off doing things. You can see all the different links of groups that are meeting and getting together. So you can see some of the things that are on there. Our political action groups aren't in there yet, but they will be right here in this section right here. So they will have the Second Amendment's rights, the help me with my gender neutral new term.
Sexual minorities, GSM.
Gender and sexual minorities. GSM is the new politically correct word that we're supposed to use for those people. It's like, okay, fine. But any of the things that we have, freedom of speech, the transportation, the statutes, sanctuary cities, any of those types of groups will be down in that section as well. So they're not quite all there yet, but they will be. Inside, the next one is our donate page. If you click on the donate, you're going to get linked right into our donate page. Our donate page is very, very simple. It's going to explain to you that if 200 people donated during this quarter before our treasurer reports it to the SOE, we're looking for $5,400 this quarter. That's and actually that's missing a month because we didn't count the first month because we were only doing it in August and September. So we are trying to raise $5,400 between now and September 30th, which means 400 people, 200 each month donating. So if you're someone who's willing to be on the development committee and call our members and say, hey, we'd love to have you donate this month, for our $200 members that we're trying to get to donate $15. And if we can do that, we can get to our goals financially and we'll be able to do all the wonderful things we want. One of the things when you hit the donation levels, it's going to give you the option of doing the 15 or 18 or 17 or whatever the date of the month is right now. Or you can donate higher. You are also able to donate monthly if you're someone who has the ability to do so and you're willing to donate on a recurring basis. It's all set up to help you do that. The next tab over is news. The news is the newsletter. This is the newsletter that goes out if you are subscribed to our email list. These are copies of all of our email lists. So you'll hear people refer back to things and they'll say, did you see the email when Kevin talked about the brand new 58 district candidate that's coming out and we have this opening? Can you volunteer? Here's our answer to that. So if you delete it accidentally, if you want to share it with a friend, you can go back and check all of our newsletters that have been going out to our subscribers.
Future donors.
Future donors, future volunteers, come party with us, all those people. The About section obviously talks about all the different things. Right now it has our LPHC bylaws, it has the LPHC Statement of Principles, has the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It will eventually have the LP.org platform. It'll have more things going in there. It's not all the way up to date yet, but it's been kicking butt and cruising. If you're someone who's interested in running for office as a candidate, this is helpful hints from the Libertarian Party about how to run your candidate. And this is our campaign committee that they will be actually talking to you about how to come out and introduce yourself to our group, where you can meet our people and all that kind of stuff. And the last one is how to contact the people that are in office right now here at LPHC. So there's myself, and there are several brand new volunteers that need to update their pages that have received loving nudges from me recently. So they will understand that right now they are a gray box or something. So hence the reason we need your picture. And
I look really good.
Don't you? So yeah, you're looking great here, Mr. Treasurer. So we need to get people's pictures and information updated for the website. That's kind of on their list to do. And the last tab underneath that last one is our favorite links, which are also lots of fun. That one has archives, which are things that we've done in the past. Gary 2016 was obviously the Gary Johnson campaign. There's lots of photos, lots of fun things that we did for that entire year. It was crazy, but lots of different things that we've done in the past. So if you ever feel like just exploring and say, what kind of committee is this and what do they do? And some of our favorite links to normal for, these are all different groups that may line up with us directly or indirectly. And this is lp.org for the national. So if you're ever curious about our national home, that's what that's all about. Making sense to everybody?
Yeah, where are we?
So then the last page I'm talking about is the blog. And here's the basic concept. The blog is set up so that it's going to default back to the front page. We want the front page to either be something that says, hey, you should be coming to this event and connecting to the event. It should be a video event of something that someone is doing and going on.
Hey, you're on it right now. You're live.
It has our Bamboozer TV channel looked into the front, so
You're like magical.
I didn't know that. I was ready to show Kevin's downtown. I was going to be downtown TV. Yeah, this is us watching us, right? So it has our TV channel down here, so you can see whatever's going on. So you can see what's going on.
Cool.
Before this meeting started, it did have something else from Kevin and our political action people going on. So the idea is we need bloggers, we need writers, we need people on the scene with their Facebook or their Facebook live stream or their whatever they're doing. What is the political voice here in Hillsborough County? And we want to share that here on our front page. The idea here is that we want our members and our supporters to come back to lphc.org on a regular basis to know what's going on, what's happening. So we need to be a news source where our front page is something they can get to.
So the political action starts stirring the pot. We want it spread all over that front page, guys.
Yes. Okay, so back in the beginning, back to the events, and see how I'm clicking on the very first one, which is our date to date. That in the future will be an archive. So if you're looking for it, you just go back to that other spot with the archives. Does that make sense? And there's our agenda. So whenever you go in and you want to say, what's going on? I can't make the meeting this month because I have a kid with an ear infection. I'm thinking, since we have 2,400 of you paying attention to us and what's going on, and we're trying to communicate with you, I'm thinking you're watching that video that you see on the front screen, and I'm thinking you can see the agenda, and I'm thinking you can see the links. So if one of our volunteers calls you and says, hey, well, I didn't know anything about that. We're going to say, well, there's this really cool site. It says lphc.org, and you can find anything you need right here at our Hillsborough Libertarian home. So, back to our reports. First thing we need to do is approve our previous minutes. Now, in the future, I am expecting everybody to come into our meetings with all of this stuff pre-read. You shouldn't have to be coming in here trying to read it on a screen before we vote, which is the whole point of our EC and our leaders, getting the things submitted 2 days prior to their EC meeting. The executive committee can review everything and prep it inside their meeting, which meets at least 1 week prior to this meeting, and they can make adjustments necessary. So they can say, okay, this is approved, and we can bring it out to the members and vote on anything they need to. So this is our meeting that happened at Babe's Pizza when the electricity was out. We elected our treasurer. We empowered Kevin to create a committee to start looking at a different type of pledge to start the meeting. These were our motions, and the motion passed. We elected our brand new treasurer, and we passed a yes, you can spend some of our money to pay GoDaddy and keep our account live, and then it ended. So right now is where our secretary would ask. It says, I move to have the minutes accepted as written. So do I hear it so moved? I'm going to take Chris as a move. Do I hear it seconded?
Second.
Can I ask one question?
After things get seconded is discussion time in Robert's Rules of Order. So yes, we've heard a first and a second. So Kevin, you have the floor. What's your question?
So those are them right there, the whole minutes from last month?
Correct. Do I have any more discussion over the minutes? Nope. Hearing none, I call for a vote. All in favor of accepting the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstains? Minutes are approved. I see treasurer report, which is where we're going next. This is actually our treasurer report. Our poor treasurer and chairperson actually got to meet with the bank this week, and so this is all brand new to both of us. This is Mick Slaughtermelch, our treasurer for LPHC.
Right, so far we have in our savings account $5. In our checking account, we have $455. And online fundraising, we raised $140. So thank you for all that. And then petty cash on hand, we have $25, giving us a total of $620. And some of our expenses, June and July phone services, along with August, our phone service costs us $15 a month. And our accounts payable are for GoDaddy, for Hillsborough Libertarians are here signs, and August mailing services, totaling $189 there, which leaves us with a total worth of $377.02. But I do want to reiterate the whole 200 people donating $15 per month, so we can go ahead and reach our grand goal. I also want to go ahead and take the time and pass this around. I will lead by example.
Yeah, there you go.
Lead by example. Chairperson's on the board.
I brought some cash today.
Spent all my cash to go to the garage in Tallahassee.
And gas is right
Excuse.
here.
I can just write my occupation right on here, right?
Yeah, right here.
Thank you very much, Master Treasurer. Okay, membership team report, which right now is still myself. These are new forms that we created that are online for our EC. So what we have asked our committee chairs to do is to let you know what's going on and how you can help on each set of things that's happening in their committee. So it's going to give you the title of the activity, the description of the activity, and how you can help on each one of the things. So in the committee, our subcommittee that reaches out to the general public, this is where they're reaching out and where you can help. So in Brandon, they're right here in this location that we're at right now on the second Tuesday of every month. It's 9 to 6 p.m. We have a table that's set up. We pass out information, answer questions. If we have candidates, we encourage you to show up at any one of our open outreach booths. Just contact me first so I know that we have volunteers that are meeting you. In Temple Terrace, we're there on the second Thursday. Both of these are indoors. Those are always a plus when you're working a table in Florida in the summer. Tampa is an outdoor event. This is when Tampa does Rock the Park. We run around wearing our yellow and gray or Libertarian gear. And then we have our little bookmarks that have the 10-question quiz on them with our little Libertarian LPHC sticker on them. And we run around passing them out and answering questions to people. Riverview, Plant City, Apollo Beach, and Sun City Center are both currently looking for outreach spaces. We don't have anything out there. So how can you help? You can participate in any of the existing booths or create a booth in your area. The other thing that we want to invite you to do is super outreach stuff like the gun show that's here next weekend. Those generally cost us, what did we find out last time, $150 for the table? $100 for the table. And then volunteers to work the booth for the 2 days. So if you're someone who's a gun enthusiast, Second Amendment right, and you want to come out there and do an outreach booth, talk to us. The next section is our actual voter registration rolls. So for those of you who got involved in all of the arguments this last couple of weeks, you can see something sad for our LPF numbers. For the first time in 3 months, we went below 2,200.
Holy cow.
The other thing that I want to tell you is that it's also the first time in a month that we've ever had a month where we have not been actively recruiting Libertarian voters. So that just lets you know that always being out there, always telling people to register Libertarian, because yes, it does make a difference, and yes, it does matters. Over half of these people are really Libertarians. A true Libertarian would never register to vote in a party.
For example.
Exactly. So these are really a lot of our people. So when you hear the outreach people talking about how we're knocking on these doors and then these doors, that's who they're hitting. So how can you help with this effort? You can help work an outreach booth. You can ask your neighbors.
You could talk to me about becoming a third-party voter.
There you go. I see right here in the bluish. You can talk to Kevin O'Neill to become a third-party voter registrar, because we will be updating that. Very good. You just right on track. Okay, the last thing on our report is LPHC members and supporters. So we've actually created 2 band groups so that everybody who joins gets dumped into one group or the other group. And we have, as a membership committee and as LPHC, eliminated all the frivolous groups and sidebars that we had. When we started this year and we talked about what did we want to do, we wanted to increase communication, increase transparency, increase relationships, decrease busy work, decrease crazy stuff, decrease distractions. So we have closed up our meetup group. We're like 3/4 of the way through closing up all of our Facebook groups. We've closed out a bunch of different little groups. So the member plans groups, they're all things that we adopted when we became the new EC committee in April. So we've been closing that all out, and we've made it super, super simple. So if you have not band together with us on band, jump on band and find your group. And it's all on lphc.org. Everything is there for you.
Hop on the bandwagon.
Hop on the bandwagon. I like that one. I might have to use that one. I was stuck on band together with us, but I like hop on the bandwagon. I think that's the end of the report. So then that's the end of membership. Let's see who's next. So anything else? Anybody have any questions for membership?
What are the benefits for membership?
You get to hang out with us wonderful people. We make a difference and we impact lives right here in Hillsborough County each and every day of the week. Yeah. And you know what? You get to have a say-so. Because if my mic's on me, isn't it?
No.
No, it's not. Where's my mic? Oh, I did my whole presentation without my mic. Aren't you lucky? So
Nobody's complaining online.
Nobody's complaining online. They're like, yeah, I don't know. Susie's still babbling.
Carolyn Hartman's online. Say hi, Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn Hartman. So Carolyn was our vice chair last year, for those of you who don't know Carolyn, and she helped out a lot with Gary Johnson. We loved her. So
you guys can come join us if you want.
Our next 2 reports are going to be from Kevin O'Neill as he speaks to us about the political action team and the campaign team reports that he filed.
Go for political action first. You can jump on the website and read all the crazy stuff. So, all right. So, political action committee, Hillsborough County, Florida. What is going on? So, I'll just say Confederate monument issue was dead, and then he came back to life, and I think it's going to stay alive for a little while. So, all right, kind of blew past that. But basically, the short story is like 2 months ago, the Socialist Marxist Left, funded by George Soros. If anybody wants to debate me on this, just feel free.
After the business.
Apparently the statues were fine for 100 years, but all of a sudden it's a problem. I'm calling this entire effort for Hillsborough the Les Miller Community Panacea Program. If anyone doesn't know what panacea means, just look it up. So to make a long story short, the leftists lost and sanity prevailed, I think, in the month of June. And they basically said, listen, guys, we'll do like a wall behind the thing, and you guys can do your special whatever references to whatever thing you guys want, all you people in the room. Not you people, but the people in the city, the county building. And then the next month, it's like, even though you guys voted not to move war memorials and passed it, and even though you guys voted not to move that exact Confederate monument and passed it, and even though not passed it, it didn't pass, so it was supposed to stay there. And even though you voted to put a giant wall behind the Confederate monument where everyone could put their finger paints and whatever else they want on the wall. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but it was going to be some kind of serpentine wall they could put anything on they'd like. And that passed. Total compromise. Not good enough. Came back the next month, screw procedure. They brought up the exact same motion was brought up, which I think is a total violation of like all order. And it passed. Now we're going to move the monument. Oh, we forgot. We don't have any money to move the monument. So some lawyer stepped up and said, I'm going to create a GoFundMe account right here on my phone, like right now, while I'm waiting to speak. And he did. And I think he stuck $2,000 in it, but it's usually like $100,000 plus. So because of the chaos, these people, I think it's called Save Southern Heritage. Does anyone actually consider themselves a full-blooded Southerner in the room? I'm a Yankee. I was born in Canada. We got one. Largo. Counts. All right.
Cracker. You're a Florida cracker.
I'm a Canadian. Grew up in Connecticut. Moved here 10 years ago. I don't think I count. But these guys, Save Southern Heritage. They're obviously they're like the third generation of Confederate soldiers, or they have somebody in their family who's a Confederate soldier. We have some members who's I think either a member of this or is at least active with these types of groups. But these are straight up, Gold Star families. They have dead who died in that war.
Explain what a Gold Star family is for someone who might not know.
I don't know exactly what the definition is.
It means they lost a son.
But basically, somebody who's had a immediate family member die in a war. Child, as he says, child. So this is a combination of spouses and parents who basically kicked off the memorial creations, and these are their offspring, generations later. So the guy who runs the one here is a lawyer, and he's going to sue. So he says, I don't think this is private information because it's all over Facebook. He's going to sue the county commissioners like tomorrow or maybe today. I forget which day he's filing. And he actually shopped around to see who wants to be a party to this lawsuit. So if any of you guys really feel passionate about this, you can probably join this lawsuit and you're going to have a free lawyer.
Talk to Kevin at the social time after the business.
Attorney McAllister. I don't know these people too well. I've interacted with them like 5 or 6 times. They seem pretty straight up. I'm not feeling the racist thing coming out of them. It's all about, don't shit on our monuments. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you people crazy? These are dead soldiers.
So how can we get involved and help you with this?
Well, I can put you in touch with these people. I'm actually considering this a dead issue. I think I wrote here, what did I say? No action planned. That's how you get involved. It's basically educate yourselves on it, because we're not wasting our time on this. I mean, this is a...
Neither is a business meeting, so thank you.
Moving forward. Thanks, honey. All right, reviewing the city budget. So we're in political action. So we're going to be digging through the city budget pretty soon in the city of Tampa. If anybody wants to get into the nuts and bolts, let me know. I'm actually going to be writing a gigantic... We got a volunteer. Awesome. Mm-hmm. It should be. I'm going to be writing this gigantic white paper, also known as a book, critiquing the budget, and we're going to make money. It's going to be a capitalist project to basically
Does LPHC get a portion?
Run a 180-page screed against the budget.
You can donate 10% to us?
But to tell you the truth, it's going to be more libertarian training, like what would a libertarian do, kind of stuff. And that's the plan. So if you want to be part of that, I'm going to be burning up some hours on that. Let's see. I think we can scroll through here. possibly.
How could they get involved? I missed that. Sorry.
How can you get involved? I think I just said it right.
Okay.
Just let me know if you guys want. If you guys want to pick through Temple
See
Terrace,
him after the business
Temple
meeting.
Terrace budget, or Plant City budget, or the county budget, or the Board of Ed budget. I know Dave's the back's been talking about Board of Ed budgets. These things are like 500-page documents.
School board budgets.
It's unbelievable.
They just changed
All right.
the busing system.
So, stop Tampa Bay next. So, I just want to give you a little background because there's some new people in the room. So, our parents donated all this money to build the federal highway system. Tax. It was stolen, but it got put to work.
Donate.
Help. I mean, there's a legitimate role in government to make marketplaces work. So, I mean, the road is critical for making the marketplace work. So anyways, I think it was the Eisenhower administration did the interstate highway system. All right, so we got one in Tampa called Interstate 275, and we also got Interstate 4. We already paid for these with taxpayer money. Hello. So the crazy Florida Department of Transportation wants to literally toll it. In my mind, what they want to do is just put a new layer of blacktop on it and say, hey, it's a new road. We're going to toll you for using this from now on. I consider this absolute fraud and theft. If they created a separate road right next to the road, we could talk. If a private company came in and put in their own highway, of course, we'd be all supporting of that because that would be private money who can do whatever they want with their private property. But no, the Florida Department of Transportation wants to toll the hell out of us.
Variable tolls, too.
So
can I put in my 2 cents on that?
Sure.
Certainly.
So for you guys that don't know me, I'm an engineer that's in the construction industry, so I have a little bit of insight into exactly what Kevin's talking about. Currently, they're implementing this on the veterans. They're literally in the process of putting in an expressway, a toll expressway that you need to pay to drive in this lane over on the veterans. I haven't talked to a single person that's excited about this idea or is actually going to use this because you also have about 50 feet to all of a sudden shoot across all 4 lanes to get off on an exit. It's just, it's asinine.
They did it in southern Florida and
for those who couldn't hear,
miserably.
the basic description was it's asinine.
It eliminates 5 of the 7 exits into downtown Tampa. It's crazy.
They're taking the fast lane and essentially using the shoulder and restriping it and building a little barrier with those little kind of plastic pylons and making that a toll express lane.
With variable
It's currently being implemented on the veterans, which already is a toll road, but it's currently being implemented. They are talking about doing the same thing on 275. Is that when they last did the 275 project and they expanded it and created a larger space in the center, the theory was in the future, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, light rail could go in the center of that. Now they're talking about a more immediate use and trying to put in express lanes in the outer fast lanes, which...
You should be on Kevin's committee. They go, well, I'm telling you, they have marched in the rain in yellow raincoats. They've been to more meetings and more planning. You should be on that committee.
I haven't heard a single person on any side of any political spectrum that is excited about those ideas.
The sad part is you'll see pictures where we're all standing there going on 4 transit and we're standing there at the background at the MPO and we're standing there filling in, and they have held meeting after meeting after meeting where we all stand there and say we don't want it, we don't want it, we don't want it, and they move forward. I want to give the floor to Mick. He had a question in the back.
Another hand.
In the event that this does pass, and also is this summed up as TBX?
It's TB
That's
Next
fine.
now because we
TB Next
slammed TBX, and so they said, okay, we like cave, so we're going to come up with TB Next, which really made very minor changes to TBX. Same plan, same people.
So in the event that this passes, I suppose we come up with a
David has a motion.
Well, Kev, we just can't take dynamite to everything. I suppose we come up with a very not counterproductive, a very productive method on boycotting these tolls and making roadways easier and less traffic jam if everyone kind of just plays along and to avoid these tolls till they rip them out.
So in response to that,
it's gonna be damn near impossible
yeah.
to take them out. I understand what you're saying, but
right. But if no one's using them,
when we have the meetings with Sunshine Citizens and all the people, there's actually a student who's currently doing his master's thesis at USF, and he did his master's thesis on an alternative to TBX and TB Next. and he's running around doing stuff. And so I would love to connect you with that group, because then we can show how we can make a difference. And I want to encourage people, like Kevin talks about, and he gets out there with this political action and stuff, but did you know that last year they tried to toll our Howard Franklin Bridge? And they had a meeting on one side and a meeting on the other side. And Libertarians, both from Pinellas and Tampa, now nobody made us card in, so a lot of us showed up at both meetings wearing our gray, wearing our yellow, wearing our Libertarian, and stood at opposite ends of Howard Franklin and said, "No taxing my bridge." And do you know that we won that battle, and there is no toll on the Howard Franklin Bridge? So sometimes just being able to come up with an alternative and showing enough faces helps.
Yeah, there's been two. That's a massive win, and I think that the center of the anti-toll road universe is who I referenced. Tampa Bay used to be called Stop TBX. Now I think they're calling it Stop Tampa Bay Next. Huge win there. They also had a second huge win, namely there's some law, federal law, that says you can't base your highway construction plan on data older than 20 years. So one of these, was it 24 years?
No, it was over 20 years.
So one of the activists on Stop TBX, I think his name's also Mix or something like that. Do you remember his name? He dug out this rule and it was able to literally shut down the entire FDOT tolling project for Tampa Bay for 3 years. They have to literally go out and collect data for 3 years before they can reintroduce the plan. So anyways, it's a really impossible situation for activists, because the Florida Department of Transportation is literally spending our tax dollars to try to indoctrinate us all and sell the project, and it's not even wanted as far as I was trying. I only know one person who wants it, and it's shocking because she's a member of the Tea Party, but apparently she's good for stealing roads and putting tolls on it.
Are we talking about Sharon?
Yeah. So I guess all I'm trying to say, and Susie also has an excellent comment, that college grad, his plan is, and I love his plan actually, it's called Let's Build Downtown North for
Boulevard,
Tampa.
yeah.
Tampa Downtown North. So we got
For a long time.
we got Tampa, that little peninsula between the Hillsborough River and the port and the canal, which is standard downtown. Well, basically this gentleman's saying, let's put it between basically where I-4 is and where Barris Avenue is, which is basically Old Seminole Heights. And he's literally saying, we're going to terminate I-275 and put it back on surface streets. And in my mind, basically make a loop of one-way road system with a bunch of city buildings, skyscrapers and whatever in the middle. So that would basically create more of a community where instead of jumping on a highway and driving 5 minutes, 10 miles down the road to go get a pizza, you would actually just not even take a car, but just walk across the street to the pizza place and create an environment where it's more of a destination and a local environment where pretty much all the services are right there where you need them. So there'd be a combination of employment and housing, service providers for all the stuff we want. I thought that was a huge idea, and to tell you the truth, it's pretty much the most combative suggestion to throw at the DOT, and let's see what they can come up with for why not to do that. I mean, we're literally talking about taking several square miles of untaxed land. So these cities and counties live on property taxes. There's nobody tracking how many square miles are untaxed because it's a highway, or it's untaxed because it's owned by the state or the feds. So in a sense, this gentleman's argument is we're going to create several square miles of taxable land for the cities and counties to live off of by doing this, and we're not going to toll the road, and we're not.
For more information, see Kevin after the business
section. It's a gigantic
section.
topic. It is.
We just want to do
we have
the
an
overview.
opportunity to be involved.
What was that called?
Stop TBX.
TB Next.
All right,
Tampa Bay Next.
Keep trucking. Another gigantic side project, stopping toll roads. Where are we at here? Government position near you. Okay, so you guys might have seen, I know Bryan saw, but we've been promoting all these open positions. So here we are, we're a political organization. Some of us been here for a long time, some of us brand new. No better place to get credibility in the political circles than to volunteer onto boards. So ironically, we're libertarians, we're not into bureaucracy, but if we want to be effective and get inside of government and do what we want to do with it, there's a government position near you. And 2 months back, we had a list of 40. It actually included special election for the mayor of Temple Terrace. So if you guys live in Temple Terrace, you could have been running for mayor. So that opportunity went past. anyways, it's let me know if you need any help getting to it. Pretty much if you go back to our website where our news releases are, you can get all the links in there. Political action, I think that's it, right?
Mm-hmm. Is that what you done?
Yeah.
How can they get involved and connect with you after the meeting?
What?
How can they get involved and connect with you after the meeting?
You can buy me dinner afterwards.
We'll be at the Ale House on Brandon Boulevard.
Been hustling. All right, I'm gonna change my disguise. I am now the what am I? The candidates committee? Nope, not yet.
Oh,
Wait for the next one.
sorry, hit the wrong one.
Look at her. She's got active like Google Forms people on our website. Dump into the doc.
Campaign, that's what you want, right?
Subcommittee members, fill out your Google Forms, and
Fill
you'll
out
be
your
on the
forms
website
and
too.
get 'em in.
Keep it PG, please. All right, so candidates committee. We are knee deep in Google Forms here. Don't shut us off, Google. All right, so this is candidates, right? Yeah, so Temple Terrace mayoral race. Nobody stepped up, so we can keep cruising by.
We do not have a Libertarian candidate.
All right, so you also saw us pushing out another I don't even know what I'm calling it, MailChimp newsletter about how our sister organization in Miami-Dade had heads up that Senate seat 40 was going to be contested because the GOP used the N-word. Can I say the N-word in here?
You can say N.
Okay, the
You can say N-word.
chairman's saying no.
N-word is fine. Don't describe
While
it.
talking to his friends in the Black Caucus, he probably should use the word black, but whatever. The fact that we have race the designated caucuses in any political organization or government proves my point that the government's racist. Anyways, because he's a GOPer, he got his neck slit and he had to resign immediately. So our sister organization in Miami-Dade, they have their own organization. I was just asking questions. But anyways, they did not step up. They did not find a candidate. And I was like, I can't believe you missed that opportunity. So I put the big, it was literally a black face. They have this like shadow face of Senate 40 on the website. So I put it out there looking for someone to fill the void. And that was like 2 months ago. That literally like the 3 weeks later we find out.
Time.
I'm doing storytelling here.
I have to say this. Okay, so Hillsborough County runs very few.
I'm gonna get on the computer while I'm doing this.
No. You can stand here while I talk about you. It's great. So we run very few candidates because we have limited resources and limited volunteer base, right? So we're like very selective when we've been like focused. If we're on you, we're on you. This is all good. Miami-Dade gets like 20, 25 people elected every single season. They're in a massive candidate. They decide to make a strategic decision to skip one election, and this one throws them under the bus publicly.
Step into the light, Kevin?
I don't think so.
So he's everywhere showing this, as he calls it, the shadow face. You're letting one fall and trying to make them feel bad. Like they're already 20 times better. Like we kick butt in voter registration, they kick butt in candidates, right? This is the reality. So he, Mr. I got my voter registrations kicking butt, throws them, the candidate, star player, under the bus. So then, less than 2 weeks later?
Yeah, it was like almost immediately.
They got a wonderful, hey, Kevin, so now one's in your county. What are you going to do? And that's where Kevin started with his little email campaign.
I don't think they've contacted me.
They haven't. They've been very polite about that. I can't say I would have been.
So I can't run. Susie can't run. We knew of some people who could run. So obviously we communicated out to the community. And then sure enough, where's the guy's name, honey?
I was just scrolling down to your how you can help.
All right, so sort of Bryan Zemina. I don't see his name on here. I think we're on the wrong page.
No, he's right there. I can see him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Join Bryan Zemina's committee.
Responded. He goes, I think I'm interested. I got to talk to my wife. And a conversation started. So basically, since we're all neophytes to this, because I think we've only lived in Florida 10 years and done this for like 4 years or something, but clock was ticking, and Bryan had the hardest conversation of his life with his newlywed wife. 11 months into this marriage, is that about right?
Not even. We got married December last year.
We're just clap to Chris. Give Chrissy a hand. Chrissy a hand.
We
Get
love
some
Chrissy.
hand. Professional engineer meets thoracic surgeon. Vascular surgeon.
Sounds like a velociraptor.
I know, right?
That's a lot.
Thoracic. Cutting on veins.
Getting married, starting a house. Opportunity pops up, gentleman jumps right into it. Professional engineer Bryan Zemina, jumping right into it. So we applaud you. We're going to give you the floor in a little bit. So we are wanting to make change. Obviously, getting Bryan elected is going to be huge. Obviously, using his campaign as a way to communicate and educate to the masses is also going to be huge. And more importantly, and Travis could probably attest to this, having one of these campaigns happen in our affiliate is a way to train all of our affiliate active members. So, I don't live in the Treasurer and Candidates Treasury book, which is, I forget what the title is, but
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's this one manual. It's like 80 pages of excerpts from the law on how to conduct a campaign correctly and not get arrested. So it helps us to start familiarizing ourselves with this. So if a future candidate walks up, we can help them be useful right away. We attempted to do petitioning. The deal is this: we didn't know this was coming. The GOP knew it was coming for probably 6 months. The GOP and the Dems are like this, so the Dems probably knew it was coming for at least 5 months. And we found out when the governor started talking on August 1st, and here we are at August 15th. So we're going to give Bryan applause in just a little bit because he ran through the gauntlet to get to the other side. So jump on board is really the pitch. The pitch is,
how can we help?
the pitch is we got LPHC stuff, keeping the lights on. That's what we do. And then we got campaign stuff, which is sharpening our knives until they're razor sharp and we can wield them. And Bryan's going to be the ninja explaining to the masses what a libertarian solution is at the state level, and we're going to all jump on board as best we can to assist him in running and helping him with his campaign, from the most mundane stuff like stuffing envelopes and filling plastic bags to hang on doorknobs, and we're going to hit the street and we're going to blow this thing up. And I got to give Susie credit because I like to run it at things that shine light, like flashy things. But she's wanting to take care of the operations side. So some of the things we've been doing is, I don't tip our hand too much, but we were processing all the voter data for our own affiliates' needs. We can lend to those skill sets to the campaign, let them know how we do things so they can do the same thing. But we've also discovered some really inexpensive methods to hit everyone's mobile phone, and we're going to be putting that to work too. So we're going to be trying our best to really do a on the cheap, data intensive campaign effort for getting people to know Bryan Zemina. And if you can't spell Bryan Zemina, all you need to know is BZ for Liberty, bzforliberty.com. All right, so jump on board. Any questions on the value of a campaign?
That's what we're here for.
Okay, cool.
It's part of the
What else
mission
we got on here?
statement, right?
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, cool. So what are we forgetting? I think I'm done, right?
I'm hoping so.
So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to need, anybody who's a member of any other organization, let us know, because we're going to need to get some speaking dates for Bryan. If anybody knows anybody who's a member of the media, we'd love to go talk to them up close.
Yeah.
And
So this is
gonna be, but
Travis. So Travis is our communications chairperson, and he's going to be taking care of all sorts of good stuff. So the first part was the website, which I just went through. So you don't
a lot
really.
of this. I know we've been looking for people to do a lot of outreach, and we're trying to reach out to volunteers to get people involved in social media and get campaigns going. And it looks like there's a bit of stuff going on. Susie's started a band groups, and we're starting to communicate on band and getting a new platform for our communications and social media down.
leaving Facebook,
Doing some new redesigns on the web pages, so stay tuned for those. We want to create a new platform for people to communicate where there's a lot of negativity and stuff that goes on with the social media and things that we've kind of been communicating with in the past. So we're moving on to these new platforms to try to have a more business-focused way of communicating. Exciting, yes. We have a marketing specialist who will be able to help get the message out and communicate on social media. And do some of that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of exciting things moving forward. It's mine, that's fun. Awesome. And then if anybody wants to reach out and help with social media or communications, I mean, you can touch with me or Susie.
See Travis after the meeting. So thank you, Travis.
Thanks.
We're done with all of our reports. While Travis is up here on the bottom where our announcements are, I want to share that Travis won our Volunteer of the Month is Mr. Travis Braze. So we have to find a cool gift card for Travis because our gift card is actually an Outback Steakhouse and Travis, like me, is actually a vegetarian. So we have to get him a fun gift card. But
buy him a beer.
yeah, right. So we need to take care of our Travis, but he has been active with libertarianism. He was marching with banners. He was running around with 10-question quiz. He was taking pictures with his cameras, doing his stuff. He was actually out there knocking on doors and getting signatures, trying to get our candidates on ballots and learning all sorts of stuff. So we say, wow, Travis, you're an inspiration to our activists. So thank you for being... I know our volunteers sit there and he's so humble. He's like, well, I didn't really do anything. And it's like, Travis, you kicked butt. Shush.
Every bit helps.
Every bit helps.
It's a team effort. We're all here together.
Okay, so I'm going to do the announcements real quick while I have the floor, and then we're going to go back up to the top where it has the motions. So for those of us that are active at the state level, we have 2 volunteers that are serious state activists.
Bryan's actually on watching right now. If you want to say a little bit,
Brian, we love you. Brandy, we love you. So they had a serious loss this month, and it was a very traumatic experience, but Alexander and their family had a wonderful brand new baby, and he passed away with SIDS, only 5 or 6 days old. So we do have a sympathy card up at the front counter. If you would like to sign the card, we'll be mailing it off to Brandy, Ryan, and the rest of their family. We have a grateful note to Kevin and Bryan Zemina, who've been working nearly nonstop since Monday, August 7th to try and get through this whole candidates process. We have an exciting new volunteer, Jason Carter, who's volunteered to be our social media coordinator, and myself as chairperson and Travis Brace as a communication chair are going to try and be meeting with him sometime soon to figure out our new social media strategy. So if you're interested in joining the social media team, click on our social media band and the link is on the blue tab. Where this is me. So for those of you who've been watching my run for chair at the national level, I am now the National Organization of Libertarian Women's, not only the state chair, not only region chair with three states, but now I'm the national chair. So if you...
Nick Sarwark.
We have all sorts of exciting things which I've put on here I want you to pay attention to, but if you're going to national convention and you are a woman and the reason you are not going is because you are telling me I have to stay home, my husband's going to be a delegate, and I can't participate in politics because somebody has to watch the kids, I want you to know that the National Organization of Libertarian Women has your back. So we have a hospitality room reserved with all sorts of things we're collecting. In case you want to donate to me, you can give me stuff. We've got activities for kids, we've got coloring books for kids and all sorts of cool stuff. We also are providing box lunch, and we have a field trip on each day. One day they are going to the aquarium, and the second day they are going to the Bug Museum. So you can get your little behind up front with your husband and go be active in politics. Inside the vendor studio, we're going to have a carpet out with 3 chairs. We're going to have Libertarian leader ladies sitting there talking to you and answering questions over how can you get involved. We have candidates signed up. We have Libertarian leader at the convention. And Libertarian ladies signed up. We have all sorts of people that are women in politics, women in campaigns to share with you how you can be active. And the last thing that we have going on that day is we will have our Women Electing Liberty PAC, We'll have a meeting in the evening in a hospitality room, and during the day we will be having a Women Libertarians Leadership panel discussion. So if you're interested in being on that panel or you're interested in attending that panel, please contact us, and you can reach me at Susan at the Libertarians Women. If you just contact me on my personal stuff or on my Susan for Libertarian Women, you will find me either way. So connect with me and we will do all of that together. Volunteer opportunities. I know I'm going through this fast, but we had a lot of talking with Kevin, so I want to catch all the things that we need to do. Volunteer opportunities. Eric is stepping down as our vice chair. He has been transferred overseas for much of his job, and so he's not here very often, and he is willing to stay legal on our thing, but he's not going to be able to do any of the chores that would normally be assigned to the vice chair. So we are going to be looking for a vice chair. For those of you who are watching the internal things going on last month, I dumped Kevin. I fired Kevin. I gave him a 10% raise. He got 10% of 0 is still 0. So I transferred him from the the development chair over to the campaign chair because we had all sorts of campaign activity and our campaign chair was vacant, and that is a passion of his if you know him. So we now have a vacant development director chair. So what's a development director chair do, Susie? It's the person who's making sure that we get 200 members each month to donate the $15. That's what it is. So we're trying to find enough volunteers to make phone calls to successfully acquire those $15 from 200 voters in our area. The campaign chair, I have currently assigned Kevin as acting campaign chair. That does not give him a vote as a member of the executive committee as acting campaign chair. So he's going to be seeking your vote next month when we hold an election for all 3 of these positions. So if you're interested in running against Kevin or for any of the vacant positions, you need to be here next month and say, hey, I want to be nominated for this position. You need to show up and vote. That's important. We need to know who our leaders are. And these are all opportunities that you can get involved. And you will notice that the region rep, the job descriptions, and all these cool things are all available. If we had more time, I would walk you through the GetActive. So what I will probably do is do a separate chairperson's comment later in during the week. I want to remind you that we do fun stuff. Politics isn't always boring. So one of the next things is Saturday, August 26th. We are all going tubing on the Rainbow River, and we are picnicking. So come on out with us. I think it was, $15, $11, something like that. They will drive you up in a tram, drop you over the inner tube, and you get to float back and you picnic with a bunch of Liberty crazy people. We are going to be canvassing Plant City. We're going to be canvassing all of District 58. What's that mean? It means knocking on doors, leaving our libertarian stuff, and having a great time. Usually we stop for lunch or something in the middle. September 5th is the next executive meeting. September 16th is the next leadership training here in Tampa. September 19th is a membership business meeting, and that's just like today, 1 month from today. So guess what? September 19th, next month we're calling 20 volunteers to dial 10 people each for 200 people to donate $19 to make our goal. So we need your participation. And yet we got to go back up to the motions that were presented. In order to present a motion to the floor, I want to let you know that it's not hard. All you have to do is send an email to the chair or somebody else on the EC committee, anybody from vice chair, secretary, treasurer, anybody who's on the EC committee, let them know. When we meet as an executive team 1 week prior to this meeting, that's when we look at all the motions that are on and we put them all on the floor. So the first motion said, I, Susan Stanley, as LPHC chair, have removed Kevin O'Neill from the role as development director and have appointed Kevin O'Neill as acting campaign chair, such that he can handle the Florida House District 58 special election, among other things. I seek to have the members have an opportunity to vote Kevin O'Neill officially into the campaign chairperson position or not. And therefore, I, Susan Stanley, move that the LPHC seek nominations. So this is the part that's the motion when you're writing the motion. I, Susan Stanley, move that, or move to. That's the motion that Carrie is tracking on her legal minute. So I am moving that we have, where am I at? Seek nominations for the now vacant development chair, and to hold a special election on September 19th to address the 3 positions of vice chair, development committee chair, and campaign chair. Do I hear a second?
I second that motion.
Are there any discussions? I have the floor because I presented the motion, and I think I did a good job presenting, so I don't have any comments.
Sounded good to me.
I second that.
I already did.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
I'm abstaining.
Kevin O'Neill abstains. Okay, so the motion passes and we will have a special election at our next meeting, September 19th. I think I skipped a motion up above that. What was that? I, Susan Stanley, have received a request to resign. That's a link to his resignation letter. As soon as a replacement can be found from our current vice chair, Eric Owen, moved to seek nominations for a new vice chair. So that kind of included in what we just did since we just voted to replace him. But it's in the event that we can replace him, we will accept his resignation at a separate time. So, Kevin, you want to read your next one? Next one is you.
Okay, so I, Kevin O'Neill, having vetted this candidate as the acting chairperson of the candidates committee, move to endorse current candidate for Florida House District 58, Mr. Bryan Zemina, sitting in the back of the room, beginning on Monday, August 21st, provided no other Libertarian candidate steps up to run against him by the filing deadline, which is technically tomorrow at noon. So we're unaware of anybody else running, but I think Susie's got a
I have nobody
language written such that this would be effective the 21st.
We did it a week ago.
So, can I get a second on that one?
I second.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
So discussion. So,
You get the floor first, person who places the motion.
Yeah.
Don't talk too long, we got to get out of here. We got one more motion.
Everybody who was doing
the dog sniff, the shepherd sniffing the guy at the gate. Bryan came up, he passed the sniff test. Guy seems to be straight up libertarian. He's been, living his life, trying to stay unaffected by government. I think for the last decade, this straight up NPA, which is really impressive. As soon as we start hearing from candidates, we immediately start picking through the database, see when did they change their party affiliation. So total home run. The guy's educated, professional engineer, runs $100 million projects. He's got a surgeon for a wife. Dedicated. Tied to the community.
student loans now that I
Student loans. Keep paying those things. And I haven't picked up any crazy off the guy. The guy's a full-on libertarian, no crazy. So
maybe I'm not that libertarian.
You're with our side of the fence of the peaceful libertarians, not that side.
So we're psyched to be working with them, and we'll always keep asking more and more questions. But so far, so good, and we're gonna be doing our best to school him as best we can, wherever needed. And so far, he's been taking criticism really well, and he hasn't fired us from the volunteer crew yet. So anyways,
I wouldn't have any volunteer crew if I fired.
I'll continue. Who else would like to discuss
Join
this?
the volunteer crew.
We're gonna bring him up here in just a minute.
We got.
I'm talking. Anyone
Thank
else?
you. Do we have a second?
We have a second. We already had a second.
All in favor? Oh yeah, we already had a second. Sorry.
Yeah. All in favor of a vetted
Any
candidate?
opposed? Any
I
abstain?
say aye.
Motion passes. Yay! And the
right,
last
you're
motion was Susan
good.
Stanley's shift to move the outreach door-to-door canvassing from the LPF voters area. Right now, our LPH outreach is door knocking and hitting Brandon and Riverview, trying to bring people to this meeting. So the motion is to shift those volunteers over to District 58 to support Bryan Zemina. Do I hear a second?
Yes. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstains? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Have Mix read. Come over here with the mic, Mix.
Okay. Each person on these committees play an important role in protecting our people's freedom and liberties. Some are volunteering their limited time on a subcommittee, and some are activists at meetings and speaking out. Some are funders, and some are fans in the stands, where we can count on their votes at the polls. In all cases, each of us are responsible to make our best efforts to work as a group for the success of our mission. If you have already stepped up, thank you. If you are waiting for an invitation to do so, we invite you to do so now. Donate your passion, your enthusiasm, your time, your skills, and your funds towards our worthwhile mission today. Get involved at www.lphc.org.
Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Come meet our new Libertarian candidate. Let's welcome Mr. Bryan Zemina.
All right, I'm done talking. I'll stick this around, gentlemen.
You got her? All right. So, that is a bright town. You guys standing there staring at that projector. First and foremost, without Susie and Kevin's help, there's absolutely no way this could have even begun. When I started this process, a really, really long time ago, 8 days ago, I didn't know what I was doing. Now, I still have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm at the starting line. And realistically, that's thanks to these two. They've been there to help me out, to try to hold each other's hands is probably the best way to put it, because we had to figure it out together.
Far right is
we got enough campaign contributions to be able to pay the qualifying fee, and as of today at 2-3 o'clock, something like that, it was the first official qualified candidate going after the special election. Beat the Republican guy, and we got a snapshot of it too. So that's great propaganda there. It's something that I've been talking about, that I've been doing, that I'm sure all of you guys have been doing at bars for the past 10 years. Just speaking the libertarian mindset, just talking about it. You're just hammering it home. Next thing you know, the bar closes. You haven't touched your damn beer. When this opportunity showed up and I saw in the email, it gave me a reason to reach out and actually put my money where my mouth is. I've been preaching it for so long to basically live and let live and get the government out of our lives. And there's this opportunity now, and I know that there is a massive calling to the people that actually truly believe this, to campaign finance reform, get rid of the duopoly, to just leave each other alone as long as you're not stepping on each other's toes. It's not complicated. It's a pretty simple philosophy. And I have the opportunity to now be the spokesman for that, and it's really an honor, and I'm excited. We're at the starting line now. Absolutely. We're officially at the starting line. So there's anything anyone can do, funds, time, volunteering, campaign assistance, all of that is needed. I'm reaching out to my circle of people that I know, trying to bring them on board. Of course, they're all busy with jobs and kids, and kids. I don't know, it's crazy.
Your time will come.
I'm sure it will. It's not there yet, so I can't even imagine. Everyone's busy. I get it, but there's an opportunity here to potentially step up and snatch up something that we haven't had the opportunity to do before. As Kevin said, you guys have no idea who I am. I get it. I've been on the outskirts. There's been a libertarian that you guys had no clue about, as are probably tens of thousands of Hillsborough County residents. The ideas of liberty are not difficult. They're not confusing. It's straightforward. And if we can get that message out, that just broad, overwhelming message, and not get dealt down into the nitty-gritty details right now, we have a great shot at taking this thing, I think. It's
yeah, buddy.
But
it takes teamwork.
We're gonna take this thing.
Yeah, we got it.
So you can go like this behind you as your website?
No, yes, this is my website. Still needs a lot of work, by the way, but it does accept money, so that's good. That's a good start. It's currently got my candidate statement, it's got my biography, and the donate button works. So we are in the process. I've actually got a buddy I went to school with that is a web designer for a career. He owns a web design company that was able to slap this together over the weekend, over like one Saturday or something. Perfect. So we got it up and running. It's official, it's real, still needs work, but we're in the process of working on that. It sounds like you might be able to help with that too.
So I wanted to
that's awesome. Absolutely.
So I was gonna say, we've been working with Bryan for 5 days or 6 days, something like that. Real college try, big push, surprise election. We had to go through a gauntlet of rules, and we had a couple stumbles, but it didn't take us out. We had a couple people who were real critical and saving the day. Some donors really stepped up.
Absolutely, yeah. Big thank you to Jason, by the way, donating that, or Josh K.
Joshua K.
Josh K. Yes, that was huge that he had to give a loan, because we got the donations, but those won't actually land into the campaign account until the 21st. So he had to take a leap of confidence and give a $1,000 loan to the actual campaign account so we could write the qualifying check today. So
some people some people would run
Critical.
into a barrier and just quit. This guy's run into so many barriers in the last 5 days. Primarily,
so there are more to come. But
primarily because we're neophytes, but I think that's part of the marketability of Bryan is he's new to the system. He's not captured by the system. He's been an NPAer for his entire, I guess, voting career in Florida. And at least since 2008, and although he sees an advantage, I think, to joining the Libertarians, obviously it fits his philosophy. But we were able to provide a lot of activists like yourselves and some people up in Tallahassee. Susan's got her hands up. Go ahead,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Speak, Bryan, briefly to the point that
Yes.
who your probable opposition is and how much money they've raised and what.
okay, so as I was, I got to go back and clean up anything that happened in college, right? We got to be safe. I don't know. I just got to start Googling myself, see what the hell comes up. I have no idea.
Baseball.
I'm on page. it's mostly baseball and football, as
This
it
guy's
turns
a
out.
pitcher. He's an active pitcher for an amateur baseball.
Yes, I am.
Join us
Every
on
week.
Wednesday, rooting for Bryan.
Yes. So I was Googling myself. I was on page 5 of Google or something. I came across an article of the I'm blanking on his name. The main Republican guy who was probably going to take it from Plant City for the Republican
No
Party.
idea.
Oh, I can
Anyway,
we don't even care
there's an
about the
article that
competition.
shows up. There's an article that shows up and says candidate X has raised $90,000 in the first week. So I took that article and I posted it to my Facebook campaign account, which is out there, by the way. It's at BZ for Liberty. Go out there, join it, invite all your friends. I posted it as a direct, this is what we're against. I mean, this is a direct example of somebody who owes favors to somebody at the end of the time. If they get elected, there's absolutely no way in hell that you raise $90,000 in a week knocking on doors. You don't raise $90,000 a week listening to your people. You raise $90,000 a week because you go to a super PAC or a special interest group. And that is 100% what I'm against. What, honestly, America in general is against. We need to get that message out there amongst many other messages, but that's really my mindset right now is campaign finance reform. Let the people know what's actually happening with super PACs and special interest groups. And 80% of the people probably don't care, but the people that do care are actually knowledgeable about this. It's important, and they actually know. It's on both sides. They both do it. So that's a very critical aspect that I want to push, hammering things home, as well as the philosophy of live and let live. Cut my taxes, let me be me.
Beautiful.
That is
That's
simple.
a good slogan. I like that. Cut my taxes, let me be me.
Outstanding.
I don't know who has a problem with that.
So you're available
I'm
for-
just one of thousands of people out there that are like me. I mean, and honestly,
Any
it's
questions from the floor?
Yeah, what the hell?
please.
You're out there getting it done. I gotta say, it's probably like one of the best opportunities to actually get some, a third party elected because it's a special election.
I agree.
Like the turnout's gonna be low as it is. If we
The
can
people who-
really campaign and get the base
Mhm.
energized,
The people who don't know the candidates and just vote R&D down the board, that vote on lower candidates and don't know who they are, aren't going to turn out for the special election. So you're 100% right. I completely agree with you. So if we have the chance to energize the base and reach out to our Plant City group, our Temple Terrace group, I have some contacts. I've got people here and there, but we need everybody to reach out to everybody that they've got and get the word out that you've got an alternative. You have another option. Somebody that actually stands for you and doesn't stand for the special interest groups, doesn't stand for getting up into the house and just yelling that you're wrong, no, you're wrong, and not getting a damn thing done. There's someone else out there that stands for you, and it's a unique opportunity that we actually have now, and that's, you have the exact mindset. We need to get our base riled up.
Jump on board. Let's give Bryan a big clap for volunteering his time and impacting his personal life, his marriage, his work world to represent the people, to carry the libertarian message forward. So let's give a big applause for Bryan Zemina.
Excitement builds on election day. Results come pouring in. A landslide victory for the underdog. A proud and glorious win. And the people cheer between their tears and call their rising sun to spread his might and shed his light on darkness overcome. And the people cry from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. He sets his clear and strong and bright. Though the world collapses beneath our feet, they swear that all is right. Though brown men drown in their prison cells and towers fall to dust, but no one questions the official word. In wicked men we trust. And the people cry from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. But the night grows long and our victory song has lost its melody. Now the razor wire, like wildfire, spreads fast across the land. And the laws they break, or the lives they take,